Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the likes up, fellas. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and today's live, guys, is going to be on 5 boom players. 5 boom players of the week, guys. So I'm back. I thought I was do the boom plays a little bit earlier. I've been dropping that video on Saturdays, but I haven't dropped it in a while. And I know y'all need this video. So I got 5 boom players, and I got a DST for you. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. What's going on, Kales? What's up, Josie? What's up, Bully Wave? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, guys. So I'm going to let the comments build up. I'm going to go ahead and start with my 5 boom players for week 8. 5 boom players for week 8. What's up, Gabriel? Jordan Pillar? Stephen? Okay. So let's start with my quarterback. My quarterback boom player of the week for week 8 is going to be Joe Flacco. Guys, let me know if the audio, I put it on Do Not Disturb. People still calling my phone. Jordan Pillar says, love you, TD, always. Authentic with all you do. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Guys, let me know the sound quality is good. Okay, thank you, Jordan. All right, so Joe Flacco, guys, he's going against the New York Jets. And guess what the New York Jets are doing? Guess what the New York Jets are doing? They're giving it up behind the dumpster. So I want to play teams that are playing against the Jets. The Jets defense, they can play good at certain games, but they're not always playing on the elite level. Sometimes they sneak up behind the dumpster and got a whole line that you can see from the apartment complex full of guys waiting. So they're giving it up behind the dumpster. So Joe Flacco, guys, I'm playing on. Listen, this is Joe Flacco, who doesn't care about throwing picks. He's already established his career. He's won his Super Bowl. So nothing that you can say is going to hurt Joe Flacco's pockets or his feelings. So he's pushing that ball down the field to Jamar Chase at a crazy level. We may see some crazy shit. We may see a 25-catch game from a Jamar Chase. I said what I said. If you're not going to double team or triple team Jamar Chase, you're probably going to see some crazy numbers. And when you triple team Jamar Chase, Chase Brown's going to eat. T. Higgins is going to eat. Other players are going to eat. Yosevich, all these guys are going to eat. So, guys, I love Joe Flacco. He is my boom player of the week. If you need to play this guy, you play him. Now, I'm not telling you to sit no Lamar Jackson or no Josh Allen or Drake May just to play Joe Flacco. But if you have a quarterback that you've been streaming like a Michael Penix and you kind of like, oh, I want the best matchup. If Joe Flacco's out there, I would play Joe Flacco. Okay, guys, let's move on to my running back boom of the week. As you can see through the thumbnail, it's going to be Derrick Henry. Guess what? Baltimore, they got something to prove. Baltimore has something to prove, guys. And I believe that Lamar is focused. They can't afford only maybe 2 more losses, so they have to probably win out, especially in the division. So I think Derrick Henry, guys, is going to have a huge game this week against the Chicago Bears. And Baltimore is at home too, and it's getting colder. So, guys, when it's getting cold outside, running backs seem to get more carries and more goal line opportunities and have better numbers. This is when you want to get running backs. This is when you want to trade for running backs because it's cold and everybody's giving it to the running backs pause on the green zone because the weather is bad. It's cold. It's September, October, November. Like, the weather is cold. So I love running backs this time of the year. Not September, but November and December. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's move on to my wide receiver boom player of the week. And it's going to be Alec Pierce from the Indianapolis Colts, guys. And if you look at the last 2 weeks, guys, he's been getting 8 to 10 targets. Now, listen, you can say, well, Josh Downs has been out. AD has been out. Like, this guy was out. I don't think it matters. I think Alec Pierce has always had a nice role in this offense, especially starting last year. When Anthony Richardson was starting, when they did have a good offensive output, it was Alec Pierce with a deep ball. Now that he's getting underneath targets from Daniel Jones, I love Alec Pierce. I feel good about playing Alec Pierce. I feel safe playing Alec Pierce. So I love Alec Pierce this week, guys. He's going against the Tennessee Titans. And guess what the Tennessee Titans are doing? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. What is Tennessee doing? Giving it up behind the dumpster. Tennessee is giving up behind the dumpster. So I want to play Alec Pierce against the Tennessee Titans. You know it. You know it, Soul Guy. You know it, Jordan Pillar. Let's go. Okay, guys, let's move on to my tight end play of the week. My boom play of the week is going to be Kyle Pitts going against Miami. And what is Miami doing, Soul Guy? What is he doing, Jordan Pillar? What is he doing, Scott? Come on now. What is Miami doing? This is Kyle Pitts matchup. They're giving up behind the dumpster. So I like Kyle Pitts, guys. They've been giving him manufactured targets. It looks like Kyle Pitts from Florida when he was catching screens. Now, he's not a great yak guy like a Brock Bowers or a George Kittle. He's more of a contesting catch, George Pickens type player. But I still like him against Miami. Miami, listen, it's over. This whole team is about to get released or whatever. They're about to revamp this team. So nobody wants to play defense on this team other than guys that's trying to get a new contract, young guys. So I like Kyle Pitts. If you got Kyle Pitts, you can play him. Don't play him over none of the studs. Never play none of these guys. Don't reach for these guys. Play your studs on your team. But if you got like a Mason Taylor and you stream the tight end position and Kyle Pitts is out there on your waivers, I don't mind playing Kyle Pitts. Jordan Pillar says Miami's giving up the backside. Everybody in the streets. Come on now. What's going on, Hennessy Black? He says Tennessee fired the best coach they ever have, and then he's succeeding with the Patriots. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, guys, let's go to my flex boom of the week. And this is another tight end. I went to a tight end for the flex because this guy is the number 2 option on his team. Now, you might say, well, yeah, it's a couple number 2, but not this guy. You're going to be very surprised about this guy. And it's going to be Darnell Washington from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the number 2. It's DK. And then Darnell Washington. You might say, well, what about Pat Freiermuth? That's one game. Darnell has been getting 6 to 8 targets the last 3 weeks. So I think he's one of the safest guys outside of DK on this team. Now, DK ain't safe, but DK is getting alpha targets, right? They targeting DK for touchdowns when they need to. But Darnell Washington is another guy. And Aaron Rodgers is looking for Darnell Washington. They throwing screens to him. They getting him out in space. He's 6'7", 280, possibly 300, and one of the best blockers. So he's a mismatch on the field. You can't put a safety on him because he's going to block him. You can't put a linebacker on him because he's going to be taller and he's going to be a little bit faster. So he's a mismatch for everybody. So I love Darnell Washington. And he does have a tough matchup against Green Bay. But guess what? This is an Aaron Rodgers revenge game against the Green Bay Packers. He wants to win this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers is not a bad team. They are a good team. They just need one more offensive weapon, like a number 2 wide receiver. That could be Chris Olave. They probably going to trade for somebody. But right now, Darnell Washington is the guy. Okay, so let's move on to my DST boom of the week, and it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons, and that's simple, right? Everybody know they playing against the Miami Dolphins, so that's simple. Play Atlanta if you can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, let's get the likes up. We got 30 people in the chat. Let's get the likes up. Kale says, we in the building, TD. Yes, sir. Kuma said, what's up? What's up, Kuma? Gabriel, what's up, bruh? From overseas, from Austria. It's not Australia. It's Austria. What's up? Steven, what's up, bruh? Jordan Pillar in the building. He says, Gabriel said it is. Josie says, are you answering the Vice questions today? Sound is good. Thank you. Yes, I am. I don't know, man, why the sound goes in and out, guys. I don't know nothing about this shit. All I can know is I got 4 or 5 bars. Everything should be good as far as the Wi-Fi. So I don't know why the shit be going in and out. But yes, I'm here. I'm here today, Josie. Scott says, traded Mason. Sorry about that. Scott says, traded Mason and Dowdle with my 1st and 4th pick next year. for Matthew Golden. Okay, so traded Mason and Dowdle. So you traded Mason and Dowdle with my 1st and 4th pick next year for Matthew Golden and Derrick Henry, his 3rd and his 8th. Let's go. I don't know, Scott, if that's good. It's a lot of stuff in that trade. It's a fruit salad trade. But I do like that you got Derrick Henry. And if you're trying to win this year, it's a great trade. If you're trying to prepare for the future, now you can do both. You can try to win this year and prepare for the future. And I think Derrick Henry is cool with that. I think Derrick Henry can break the rushing record of all time. So I like that you got Derrick Henry. Matthew Golden, I don't never know. As long as Matt LaFleur is there, I don't know who's going to be the number 1 there. It could be Christian Watson. It could be Romeo Doubs. It could be Tucker Kraft. It could be Matthew Golden. It could be Bo Melton. Who knows, right? So the only thing that I can see in the trade, outside of you giving up a 1st and a 4th, is you got Derrick Henry. And he can help you win a championship. That's 40 points, 50 points on any given day. Jordan says, giving up the booty for sure. Cash Money says, would you flex Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones back or Terry McLaurin with no Jaden Daniels? Full PPR, appreciate it. So listen, I'm going to tell y'all how I'm looking at this. I don't want to play Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones. I do think Jordan Mason can get a rushing touchdown. That's what we're looking for. But Aaron Jones has a safe floor of catching passes. Because listen, when you have a Carson Wentz who's not that mobile, what does that entail? That tells you that the running backs are going to get a lot of targets because that's not a mobile quarterback. When you see mobile quarterbacks, they don't throw to the running back as much, usually. Now, it could be different. It could be different with Josh Allen, some of these veteran guys who's transitioning from a running quarterback to more of a pocket quarterback. They might start getting the ball out. But usually pocket quarterbacks, you see a lot of targets to the running backs. I'm giving y'all the gas. But if you're mobile, you usually are going to run around and throw it to your wide receivers or tight ends. So I think that Aaron Jones is going to have a lot of people, like 4 catches, and I think he can get a goal line touchdown. I actually like Aaron Jones over Jordan Mason. So to answer your question, I probably would play Terry McLaurin with no Jaden Daniels because I think Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones are going to snipe each other. And I don't like playing running backs that are going to snipe each other unless I'm playing them both at the same time. B. Wayne says, B. Moore is butt. Let me see. Scott says, Tennessee is doing nothing but dumpster work. Okay. Tennessee fired the best coach they ever have. Right. Jordan Pillar says, Kyle Pitts or Fernando. I'm going with Kyle Pitts. Hennessy Black says, no one will make a fair trade with me. I have tons of running backs. Most teams in my league are hurting at the position. Dude just sent me Tyler Algier for Aaron Jones. Another dude sent Njoku for Chase Brown. I wouldn't give up Chase Brown for Njoku. But I do like Aaron Jones. I think he's going to get more opportunities than Tyler Algier. Hennessy Black says, if Waddle is out, we looking at Malik Washington. If you need a bye week replacement, Malik Washington going to get 5 or 6 targets. He might catch 4. He could take 1 to the crib. Cuckoo says, yo, what it do, dog? What's up, bruh? Kale says, what up? With Luther Burton, shaking my head. Should we hold or drop? You should hold. Luther Burton. The key to Luther Burton is DJ Moore. And I see somebody earlier said DJ Moore. I think that's what they were saying was garbage. But listen, DJ Moore ain't garbage, but he's going to hold up Luther Burton. As long as he's there, they're going to use DJ Moore more than they're going to use Luther Burton. And you're going to have to count on Luther Burton to make a big play. But everybody can see that Luther is a really good player, and he just needs more snaps. So that's why people are talking about Luther, and that's why people are stashing. To me, I would just stay stashing him. But if you got to move on, you got to do what you got to do to make the playoffs to win your fantasy league. So don't hold on to nothing just for a breakout. Make sure you hold it on to him because it makes sense for your team. So it's all about DJ Moore. Once DJ Moore is traded, or if he's not traded, you're not going to be able to play Luther Burton if he's not traded. But if DJ Moore is traded, Luther Burton would be good. Charlene says, I put Christian Watson on my RR slot. Yes. I don't know. So many mouths to feed on there. I love Christian Watson, but I'm not playing no wide receivers unless I have to. Unless I have to play a Matthew Golden or a Dobbs. I'll play anybody if I need to, but I don't want to start him in an optimal week. Cuckoo 762 says you playing Kelsey or Gaddison. I will go ahead and play Kelsey. Same, a lot of weapons on both teams, but I would probably play Kelsey over Gaddison. Gable says, exactly, TD. It's Austria. Jalen Noel hidden gem of the week. Yes, sir. And I talked about that. I said pick him up and stash him and see. I don't know if I would play him this week, but I would like to see how he plays because I believe if he plays really well, maybe he's going to be the number 2 over Hutchinson when Nico comes back. But if you have to play Noel this week, I don't think it's a terrible play. You just got to be ready for 3 or 4 points. You got to be ready for that, and you can't get angry if that happens. You got to give guys space to make errors or boom. Ed Tay, what's up, bro? He said, what's up, TD? How are you today, brother? I'm good, bro. I'm good. Mike Shamhart says, how do you think Love is going to play, or would you start Patriots quarterback? I'm starting Patriots quarterback every single week. Don't overthink it. Now, I wouldn't play matchups. I get it. I understand you might be in a 10-team league, Mike, but you got to play the Patriots quarterback. What does he need to do in order for him to be a start? Like, do he needs to win MVP? Then we can start him without playing matchups. I think you got to play. He's been on fire. He's had only 2 average weeks. Other weeks he's been a top 5 quarterback. Outside of that, Love is fine. You can keep him stashed. He's going to have some good weeks. We just can't count on him. Sometimes it's going to be a Josh Jacobs game. It's rarely going to be a 3 touchdown from Jordan Love. They just win so many different ways. It's hard to establish a good fantasy trend on the Green Bay Packers because there's so many weapons. They got probably the most weapons in the league. Tight ends, running backs, wide receivers. Saucy Boy says Herbert. Herbert's a good quarterback. You can start him this week. Michael White, what's up, bro? What you name? I thought you were talking about a shot. Alex says start Travis Kelce or Arondé Gaddison. I'm starting Travis Kelce. I'm starting Travis Kelce. Michael White says, should I play Jalen Noel, Waddle, Hurt, don't have no other wide receivers? And bro, this is what I talk about a lot. Sometimes you got to play whoever you can play. And Noel is a perfect play because you don't got nobody else. That's when I love that because I love to get experimental. Now, it's okay to get cute in those situations. I tell you not to get cute when you got studs already there and cause a guy's been training for 2 weeks. You like to try to put that guy in over that stud. Don't do that. But in the instance of you got nobody else, Waddle's hurt, Waddle's not going to play. If Waddle don't play, hell yeah, I'm playing Jalen Noel, and I'm not going to think twice about it. I don't care how many points he scores. Got a new member from Paola. Appreciate it, bruh. On the Ricky crew. Appreciate that. B. Silver says, are we starting Aaron Jones with confidence? I am. I wouldn't say confidence, but I'm starting because I don't have a better option. I'd rather play him than to play like a, let me look. I'm trying to look. Than to play like a Tyquan Thornton, right? I don't want to play Tyquan Thornton. So I would rather play Aaron Jones. Other options are Ja'Cory Crosby, Merritt, Chuba, Golden, and Njoku, Alec Pierce. You cannot play Aaron Jones. I would tell you to play Alec Pierce in full PPR. Play Alec Pierce. I like Ja'Cory Crosby, Merritt, but he's with Mariota. Maybe he has a big game. Maybe he doesn't. Chuba, we don't know. Maybe Dowdle gets more carries because Dowdle outplayed him last week. Golden is a bunch of mouths to feed. It could be Romeo Dobbs. It could be Tucker Kraft. We don't know what Golden going to do. Njoku should be playing this week, but we don't know. Fannin is still there. To me, the guy that nobody is, even Michael Pittman there, even with Tyler Warren, I think his name, the tight end, Alec Pierce has a role there, and it's secure. I'm starting Alec Pierce with confidence this week, going against the Tennessee Titans. That's the only way that I would Aaron Jones. And listen, Chuba and Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt is also on Aaron Jones level, and you could start Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt over Aaron Jones also too. And but I'm not going to start him over Alec Pierce. Mike Shamhart says, G, do you like Pittsburgh D over the Chargers D? No. I don't like neither one of the D's, but if I had to play one, I would play the Chargers. I'm not playing in Pittsburgh D. That defense can be had in the secondary. Saucy Boy says, is it crazy to start two tight ends? Hell no, not on a bye week apocalypse. You got to do what you got to do. It's not crazy. I'm starting two tight ends in a couple leagues, and it's not even tight end premium. I'm just playing the best available player on this bye week. Jordan Pillar says, double tight end is not crazy. I've lost to double tight ends before. Yes. Michael Wright said, if Water doesn't play, should I start Shaheed? That's fine. Shaheed's a good start. Spencer Rattler can hit him for a deep play. That's what Shaheed is. He's a big play guy. And those are okay, especially on bye weeks replacements. Man, those are great guys to play. I love boom guys on bye weeks. That's how you win. Bob, what's up, Bob? He said someone just dropped Garrett Wilson and Marks and Jennings. Drop Fanning for one of those? Yes. Go get Garrett Wilson right now, bro. Get off this live and go get Garrett Wilson right now. And then you can come back and see if you need Marks. But hell yeah, go get Garrett Wilson. Jordan says, waiting on my time to deploy double tight end. Yes. Saucy says, DJ Moore dealing with a growing injury. If he's out, Luther Burden time. If he's out, Luther Burden time. Galaxy Picker says, Odunze or Addison. I'm going with Odunze over Addison. Saucy Boy says, Pitts or Pierce. I'm going with Alec Pierce. KO says Love or Dart. I'm going with Love. The reason why I think this could be a revenge game for the Philadelphia Eagles, I still love Dart. I still think he's matchup proof. But I think Love, with the matchup that he's going against, that team is been giving it up a little bit. Make sure I don't, because I get a little bit of, yes, Pittsburgh. That secondary is not that good. So I don't mind playing Love in that game. But Dart, man, makes me nervous because Philly is on a run. They got something to prove. And so they can be running a lot of crazy stuff on defense and can confuse Dart a little bit. Bob Hope says Hurts or May, PPR, thanks. That is rough. I'm going with Hurts. I'm going with Hurts over May because you got to dance with the girl that you came with. Hurts is a great quarterback. Just because she's struggling from week to week doesn't mean that you can't start him and you're going to cherry pick over him. You got two really good quarterbacks, Bob. You got May. I love May, but I'm not going to be biased. One thing I try not to be is biased in my takes. I want to try to put myself in your shoes and make the call. A lot of you don't understand that. You be asking me, well, but what about this? If I had your team, this is what I would be doing. If I had your team and I got Hurts, I'm not sitting them. I'm not sitting him unless he go off and it gets terrible and his team is losing and him and A.J. Brown about to fight. That's the only way that I'm going to sit Hurts. It's got to be terrible. Other than that, I'm going to play Hurts and I'm going to try to trade one of these guys and get more capital for my team so I can make sure I win the championship. Kale says Flacco or Dart. Flacco or Dart. I'm going with Flacco over Dart. Michael says if Water doesn't play, should I start Shaheed? Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. Jeremy says, what's up, Jeremy? He says, will Rico and Hubbard continue to split carries? Yes, they will for the rest of the year, unless one of them gets hurt. Vegan says, what is your 40-yard dash time? I'm gonna say 4.4. Some people would say 4.3. I think I run a 4.3 a couple times. The coaches had me there. I felt like I was a 4.4 guy. Mike White says, should I sit Odunze? He hasn't been consistent. It's not about being consistent. He's the number one for a Chicago Bears team who's passing the ball downfield. So remember, it's like 10. Well, what if I told you this, Michael White? A.J. Brown, man, he hasn't been consistent. And this is not you, bro. I don't want you to say, well, I'm just giving, I make my voices. A.J. Brown hasn't been consistent. I'm not playing him. You don't get that 30-point, 40-point last week. So why do you play A.J. Brown? Because he's A.J. Brown. Well, why do you play Odunze? Because he's Rome Odunze. He's a top 10 pick. Once these guys are labeled in there and the quarterback is good and it's not disgusting, it's just they're just trying to, get on the same page. It's not disgusting. They got Ben Johnson. I think you need to play Odunze. Trends change. That's why I tell y'all about the quadrants. And that when I talk about quadrants, the main thing that I want you to get out of the quadrants is play your studs, because things are going to change. They may start off bad for 3 to 4 weeks and then end up being a league winner and being the #1 player at their position. But you guess what? A lot of us, and I've done it before, we get mad because the guy plays bad for 2 weeks and we trade him to a team that's already winning and they stash him and they end up playing this guy to win a championship. And we had it. You know how many teams I've seen had the championship, but just because they 0-3, they panic. Don't panic. Keep playing your studs. Everything's going to work itself out. If you start switching your team up, you ain't going to know what happened. It's just like being in a relationship. You trying to find a girl of your dreams. You keep dating her, marry her, marry her, marry her. You don't even know who you is. What do you like in a woman? I don't know. Let's go online and tell what is online saying that she should look like. You don't even know what you like. Play your doomsday. Lexi says, I tried to trade CMC for JT and got denied. I think it was the best for you. I said what I said. CMC is him. You can't play scared. Scared money don't make no money, Lexi. Now I get what you're doing. You want to get off that because you got to have, when we think of a CMC, we know that he can go down at any time. So I get that and I respect that, and I respect that move. I don't think it's a bad trade, but guess what? Me looking at it in a vacuum without any injury, I ain't giving up no CMC. That's the baddest dude on the planet when it comes to fantasy. I said what I said. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's probably going to be the best fantasy running back of all time. If you look at his total accumulation of points and his average per game when he plays the full game, ain't nobody ever did that. Nobody. Maybe we go back to Barry Sanders and Walter Payton when we was taking points down with pen and paper. So I think it's okay. Let them deny it. Who cares? It's okay. Just get everything you can get out of CMC. Lexi says Alec Pierce has a good deep threat game. He does, and also he's good underneath too now. Go look at the targets. He's getting underneath targets now. That's why I put him in my starter of the week and my boom of the week. I love what's going on with Alec Pierce. Elisa says, hi, TD. How are you feeling about Travis Hunter? I just picked him up. And Elisa, I've been talking about him for a long time. I said Travis Hunter's get ready to break out. Before he had that 12-target game, I told everybody, pick him up. Go stash him. Travis Hunter's get ready to break out. This is his time now. What's going on, Elisa? Jay Moore says, start 1 running back, flex 2. Okay, 1 running back. Rico, Chase Brown, Woody, Oden, Jennings. Okay. I'm going to say Chase Brown. A flex with Brock Purdy playing, I'm going to go with Jennings and Woody. We're going with Brown, Woody, and Jennings. Elisa said, did you get your ball back? Yes, I did. So I ran him down. So he came back around. He saw me. He took off running. Guys, I ain't ran like that in a long time. Thank God my knee didn't go out because I got a bad knee. I'm running fast as I can. Like, you ain't about to outrun me, little boy. I ran, and then he finally turned around and said, hey, sir, I'm sorry. I said, no, where my ball at? I said, listen, you can have the ball, but I'm about to teach you a lesson. You don't sit around and run from me. You ask me. I said, are you a man? No. I said, yes, you are a man. You might be a young man, but you are a man. So men don't run around and steal stuff. You come and ask. And if I say no, I just say no. You keep it moving. So I went to his grandma. I told him what was going on. He started crying. I said, don't cry. I bought him back. He came back to my spot. I let him pick out because I got a lot of toys that my son is not playing with anymore. So I said, listen, what do you want? I said, you want this bicycle? I said, take the bicycle. I said, tell me you sorry. He said he was sorry, and we moved forward. Paola says, am I safe to start Flacco? I have T. Higgins in the flex. Yes, you were very safe to start T. Higgins. I mean, Flacco, I'm sorry. You're very safe to start Flacco. He's my boom quarterback of the week. Jeremy Ping says, I don't like Merritt Krosky Merritt against KC. I don't either. But you still can start him. That doesn't mean, the matchup is bad. And that's one thing that happens with fantasy, and we do it every week like we don't know what the hell going on. Oh, my God. Did you see LaDainian Tomlinson score against the Baltimore Ravens? I couldn't believe it. That was the top defense. Yeah, it's because you didn't. Who the hell? You got to listen. People going to play good against tough matchups. Jackson Dart. I'm not going to say and pat myself on the back. I didn't know what was going to happen, but guess what? I wasn't scared to come here and say, TD, Jackson Dart gave me negative points. Guess what? I would have said, I'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. But in my mind, and when I would have told you, I'm like, it was the right play. You wouldn't agree with me, Y'all wouldn't agree. You only agree with me when it works out for your favor. Once you start understanding, there's a couple of you in here, you just start understanding that it's not how many points he scores or the person scores. It's the call and me having confidence in my call before they play. That's what makes me a good fantasy player. It's not the results. So you got Flacco, you start Flacco. You got Krosky Merritt, and he's starting, and nobody else is splitting his carries. If you need to start him, you start him. Unless you're in an 8-team or 10-team league, I'm not gonna go to the waivers and start no Woody Marks over him when I already got Jacory Krosky Merritt. And then you start Woody Marks, and then you go back and forth, and then you don't even know what your team is. You're just trying to chase points. We don't chase points. We play our studs here. Jay Moore says ATL, DST, or Patriots. ATL, Atlanta all day. Michael White says got Kittle and Ferguson. Definitely start both. Yeah, Kittle, you got to start Kittle, and if you can start Ferguson, you start Ferguson too, if you need to. B. Silver says, isn't it tight ends day this weekend? Yes, it is. That's why people are talking about double tight ends. Pause. Jeremy Ping says Hurts or Herbert. I'm going with Hurts. Jay Moore says, should I drop Golden or Burden for long-term? Should I drop Golden or Burden for long-term stash? Yes, you can drop either one. I might would drop Golden because I feel like he's never gonna have a real true optimal role on that team for him to be a top 12 guy, but he could definitely be a top 24 guy on a certain week. So yes, you can drop one of those guys for a good stash, not a long-term stash, but for a good stash. Like if you stashed in Kyle Managa, DeAndre Swift got a growing injury, stuff like that. Don't be stashing guys just because you liked them in college. Alonzo, what's up, Alonzo? Alonzo says Mayfield or Herbert. I'm going with Justin Herbert over Mayfield. All Herbert got is Ibuka. That worries me. Tez is okay. Tez is good. Tez been playing solid. Cade Otton been playing solid. Baker with no rushing upside, with no Mike Evans, just Ibuka. Okay. Let me know the sound is good, guys. Let me know if the sound. Okay. Is the sound good, guys? Let me know the sound is good. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. These guys don't understand that I do content. They gonna call me 5 or 6 different places. I'm gonna call my cousin too after. I'm like, damn, cuz you gonna keep blowing my shit up. If I take you to put you straight to the voicemail, you should know. They don't want until the money comes, guys. Until I blow up, they ain't gonna respect it. So I'm going with Herbert over Mayfield. Kuma says, I'm playing a 14-team league. Okay. I'm 5-2. You killing it. Who should I start between Aaron Jones or Troy Franklin? I'm going with Aaron Jones tonight. When it comes to Troy, a lot of mouths to feed. I actually think Carolina can be not Carolina, but who's the team? I think Dallas can beat Denver. And I think Dallas defense is a sneaky defense. It's a sneaky defense. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 40-some people in here, and we only got 20 likes. Let's get the likes up. Jay Moore says, how many TDs will Nick score against Dallas? I would say I'm gonna say one. I'm gonna say one. Brandon Johnson says Tet McMillan or Quentin Johnson. I'm going with Tet with Andy Dalton. Queen Ann says, should I roll with Tez or New Orleans or Debo versus Kansas City? I would go with Debo versus Kansas City. It's because that's the way Mariota plays. He doesn't push the ball downfield that much. He throws a lot of underneath balls. Debo usually his favorite. Debo is going to be practicing today and tomorrow. So I'm gonna go with Debo, but I don't think it's wrong. I think Tez is a good player too. You can kill it with Tez. Bo with the super chat. Bo says Dowdle or Schultz. I'm going with Dowdle over Schultz. I just don't feel great about Schultz, man. I know with no Nico Collins, he should get a lot of targets. If you want to go with Schultz, man, I'm not going to chastise you. I'm not going to talk about, oh, who played tight end over this place and Dowdle went for 200 yards. I don't care what Dowdle go for. I get why you saying Schultz. I just don't like playing Schultz. He's not the tight end. If it was likely and he was getting a role that Schultz was getting, I would say do it. If it was a tight end that I actually believed in their athletic ability. In a full PPR league, he should get 7 to 8 catches. Maybe that's a nice floor. But I'm going to go with Dowdle for the upside. Yes, sir. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Debo, Queen Anne over Tez. But either way, you can't go wrong. Lexi says, should I drop Chase Brown in an 8-man league? No. You can play him. He's a great flex play in an 8-man league. I know you got a lot of good players out there, but with what's going on with the Bengals, that's a good running back. Michael White says, I feel starting Charbonnet rest of the year, I believe he takes over the RB position. There's nothing wrong with that. And I like the way you looking at that. You're not caring about the scoring and what's Kenneth Walker. You see something. You see how Charbonnet is being used. You see Charbonnet scoring. You going with it. I like that type of mentality. Because you're not saying, well, Charbonnet scored 25 points, so I'm going to play him. You actually breaking the game down and seeing something that's not being given to you. That's how you find out things in life. They're not going to come on the news, 6 o'clock news, and say, guess what? Invest in Google. They're not going to do it. You got to do the research. You have to make your own assessment. Jay Moore says, Woody projections went up from 50.5 to 70. Okay. Yeah, I like Woody. I've been playing a lot of Woody. I told people to play Woody last week. He was one of my stars of the week. Jeremy Payne says, will Flacco continue to feed Chase? Yes. We're going to see something crazy if they don't triple team Chase. Movie Fan says, my quarterback is Herbert, and I'm using Gaddison. Would Vidal be too many charges, or should I use Waddle? Vidal is a good play. He's a running back. Listen, bro. Sometimes you got to play 3 players from the same team and only 2 of them go off. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You tell me a week where every single player went off on your team. You tell me, show it to me. I cash app you $5 right now. If you can show me, not no boom crazy week, you show me where each player went off. That's why you won. No, you usually going to win off of 2 players going crazy. You never going to be 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 20, 15. No, it's going to be 8, 3, 3, 30, 40, 3, 3, 4. That 30 and 40 won it for you. So play guys, because you don't want to play Gaddison and then Vidal goes off. So if you got to play Gaddison, because he's a good play this week, he's trending. Vidal is trending. He's the only running back. Hassan Haskins is out. I will play them all and play my quarterback too. Yes, sir. Jay Moore says, would you drop Hampton or hold throughout his recovery? Hold throughout his recovery. What up, Frizz? He says, would you trade Drake London for Chase Brown, Jordan Addison, and QJ? No, I'm not going to trade Drake London for Chase Brown unless I need a running back immediately to start. Not for 1 week, for the rest of the year. I'm not trading Drake London. That's a top 5 wide receiver, bro. He might finish as a top 5 wide receiver at the end of the year. So I wouldn't do that trade. Jay Moore says, Brock Purdy good to go. Yes, he is. Brock Purdy is good to go. As far as I've seen. I haven't seen anything. I've been looking at the news. I haven't seen anything pop up. I looked at him. He might have a questionable tag, but when I read the details, it's saying that he's projected to play. Jay wants to start Jennings or Golden. I'm going with Jennings over Golden. Tron Force, what's up, Tron? He says, McLaurin finally back. Need 2 wide receivers in the flex. Olave, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, Jalen Warren. Need 2 wide receivers in the flex. So I'm going with Olave and Devontae Smith and Jalen Warren in the flex. I know you told me about McLaurin, but I ain't playing. I need to see him play on that quad injury. I need to see him play. I want to see it first. B Silver says, I've been riding Caleb and he burned me last week. Pause. I got Dart starting, but I can pick up Flacco to start. I hate to drop Caleb, and if he blows up in the second half, yeah, I wouldn't drop him. If you can't find nobody else to drop outside of Dart and Caleb, then you can't get the Flacco. So listen, you can't get every girl in the world. Some girls, you know, they your mama friend, and they know your sister, and they raised on you as a kid, and all that stuff. They're off limits for whatever reason. So you can't get to it, even though Flacco have a fantastic matchup. You might not be able to get to him, and don't mess up your team, the integrity of your team to get to Flacco for 1 week. For 1 week. That's like messing up your integrity as a person to sleep with a woman for one time. Like, if that's gonna be your wife, that's one thing. But why would you ruin your relationships with your mom and your family and your friends just to have a one-night stand? That's what I call. I call Flacco, trying to get to Flacco, as a one-night stand, and you're gonna mess up the integrity of your life, the integrity of your team, dropping Caleb Williams or Dart. Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 40-some people in here. We still got 20 likes. Brandon says Tech McMillan or Q Johnson. I'm going with Tech McMillan. Jeremy says Krosky or Dowdle. I'm going with Krosky over Dowdle. Raven says, hello, boss. What's up, bruh? Appreciate you. What's up, Rome D Mac? What's up, bruh? Raven Man says, what do you think about Wentz tonight? I think he's going to be passing the ball, checking it down for Aaron Jones. I think he's okay. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Guys, let me know my sound is okay. Listen, Amazon Web Services need to quit tripping, man. My phone been doing some weird stuff. And y'all, I know y'all, a lot of you keep saying, and I want to tell, I don't know who is in here right now. I'm going to get back to the question. Raven, I'm gonna get back to the question, but I want to tell people, I know a lot of you keep saying he needs to go to a laptop, and guess what? You want me to go to a laptop, and you ain't gonna super chat or nothing, and my subscribers are gonna stay the same. So if you say something, you give some advice, have something to back it up. Because if you ain't now, people that super chat and say, TD, go and do this. I don't care. I'm gonna super chat. If you go on that laptop, that'll make me consider doing that. But this is how I grow. I've been growing. I done got over 2,500 subscribers off of my vertical lives. Being outside, being personal. This is a brand. But you keep fighting. A lot of you fight against the brand, but come here to get the brand. It's like McDonald's are nasty food, but you keep eating the shit. Let me see. So Ravens Mad says, what do you think about Wentz tonight? Yes, I just think I wouldn't play Wentz. I wouldn't play him. The only guys that I'm playing off Minnesota is Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones. And I'll play Mason if I got him on my team, and that's my running back. Other than that, I'm not playing nobody else. What's the point spread for Minnesota? Let me know what the point. Michael White said you think Minnesota cover. What's the point spread? Let me see if I can find the point spread. You think Minnesota? Okay, it's 3.5. Yeah, I think it. So yes, the half keeps you in there. I think it's a tie. I think this is a 3-point game. This is going to be a defensive game. So yes, I do believe it's going to be a 3-point game. But the 3.5 may save you because it's a half point. What's going on, Garno? Which? Yo, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being here. Brandon Johnson says, thanks, bro. Appreciate you anytime. SH33 Dunn says, bro, you think Dalton to Leggett connection hits this week? Yes, I do, bro. That's cutting edge content. Yes, sir. I do think Andy Dalton balls out. Not balls out, but I do think Leggett has a really good game. Over 10 points, and that's a great game for Leggett. He's been giving you zeros and zeros and zeros and zeros and zeros and 23. I'm like, damn, Leggett. So I like Leggett. I talked about Leggett. Hopefully he recovers so I can get him on my hit rate, because I did put him on my 70% hit rate video. So hopefully he keep balling out and end up being a top 24 guy. That way I can say it's another guy that I hit on. Hopefully Chase Brown keep doing the same thing. Guys, go check out all new people in here. If you want to say, why am I listening to this dude with a kid car seat and he got a roof missing and he got a gold chain and he's gray-headed and he's over here just talking to himself? Why am I listening to these guys? Why are they sitting around here super chatting this guy? He's not a big channel. Go look at my 70% hit rate and you'll be like, oh, damn. This dude know football, don't he? I got a 70% hit rate the last 3 years, guys, since I've been tracking it. Killing it in the offseason. It's a few guys that I'm like Tyreek Hill got hurt. I'll take that. I'll go down with that. But a lot of other guys are killing it right now. Drake May, Lamar, I still think he's going to kill it. I still think he's the top 5 quarterback. But I love, yes, SH33 done. I do love Leggett this week. I love Leggett this week. Make sure y'all can still hear me. Jay Moore says, you like Leggett over Jennings this week? No, I don't. I'm not going to get that cute. That's super cute. Super chat from Ricky Bobby himself. He says, need a defense, Jets, Bengals, Bills, 49ers, or G-Man. I'm thinking Bengals. Let's go with the Bengals out of that group. Let's go with the Bengals. I actually think Carolina plays against the Bills really, really well. The 49ers going against a top defense, but that Houston offense is struggling with no Nico. They're just not a great pass rusher, but the 49ers is a sneaky second. So I will go with the Bengals and then the 49ers. No G-Man going against Philly. All right, let me go back up. Ricky Bobby with the super chat. He says, Jordan Mason or Pacheco? A. Jones is playing. I'm going with Pacheco over Jordan Mason. That's a great question, Ricky Barbie. I'm going with Pacheco because of Aaron Jones playing. They need Aaron Jones today. Carson Wentz will be checking the ball down to Aaron Jones. I'm expecting Aaron Jones to have a really good game tonight. Not expecting, but I'm okay with playing him on my team. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm okay with playing Aaron Jones. Jassy for Hoops 949 says, what you doing? Think about starting Vidal in a 10-man league over Ja'Cory Carson-Merritt at flex? Yes. Vidal got a good matchup. Minnesota defense is, we think, oh, they stuff against the run. No, they not. They gave it up a few times. I caught them sneaking late night, like after 12 o'clock in the morning, sneaking over there to the dumpster. I looked out the window. I saw them. So I believe that Vidal can have a really good game against the Minnesota Vikings. They've been giving up a little bit. They respectable. You know, everybody got a pass. But you can be had. You can be had. I saw you over there by the dumpster. So yes, I like Vidal this week. So what you think about starting Vidal in a 10-man? Yes, I like Vidal, and it's okay to start him over Ja'Cory Carson-Merritt with Mariota being the starter. Jay Moore says, who should I roster for long term? Ricky Pearsall or Jennings? Ricky Pearsall. Now, it's going to be volatile. He's not going to always be healthy, but I like him. He's got a lot of upside. Abraham says, J.K. Dobbins versus Jaylen Warren. I'm going with Jaylen Warren. I think the Denver offense could sputter this week. Sage, what's going on, Sage? Sage says, waiting for Aaron Jones. Yes, he's playing tonight. Ref says, trade J-Mo for Aaron Jones. Yeah, you can do that. Yes, he's going to be more consistent than J-Mo. And J-Mo could boom for the rest of the year. But I'm still not going to disrespect Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones going to give you at least 7 to 10 points. You gone? Mel says, Noah Fant, just another tight end. It's a lot of tight ends to stream. Abraham Torres says, Nico Collins going to clear concussion protocol? I don't know, bro. I have no clue. I have no clue. Yours mom's Harry. That's all I'm going to say. How often do you have to wash that nasty hair? It ain't nasty, bro. I get it. I'm very detailed. I go to the barber every week. I did grow it out this last couple of weeks because I was getting it cut all the time. And sometimes you have to give your hair a rest. It's like a garden. I'm from the country. You can't plow a garden every single year because all the nutrients will come out of the ground and your fruit or whatever you're planting is going to be small. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna have an abundance of growth. So you have to, like my hair, I have to let it grow a little bit. Look, bro, I don't mind. Like, I know a lot of you say, hey, don't say nothing in the chat. He gonna come at you. No, you just, you said what you said, man. Let me see. Is Debo going to play? Yes, Debo is playing. Debo is playing. He is the underneath guy. Ricky Bobby, what's up, bruh? Man said, what if my family ain't shit though? Right. That's true. I forgot what I was saying, but I get it. It can be that. Yes, sir. Appreciate you being here, Mel. Appreciate you being here. Your mom's Harry. Appreciate y'all being here. Ice Cold Jones in the building. He says, bro, should I pick up Jennings from waivers? Yes, if you need to play him. Jassy Hoop says, good. Sound is solid. Thank you. It is fine. Thank you. Sound was good. Okay. Thoughts of having 2 DSTs? Yes, you got, man, you can get 3 or 4 if you need them. You need to make sure you need to be prepared for the weeks coming up, especially for the teams that's giving it up behind the dumpster. You want to line all those teams up. Oh, Tennessee, Carolina, Miami, Chicago. You got to, if they're giving it up behind the dumpster, yes, you can prepare. Sometimes you got to prepare 3 defenses. I'm holding on to 3 defenses because I got good running backs. So I'm going to hold on to them 3 defenses because I might need them. I'm looking at their game log and seeing who they're going to play. And I'm trying to follow the teams that are going behind the dumpster. I'm just like any other man. I need loving too, right? So I'm looking for teams that will go behind the dumpster. So, yes, hold on to 2 or 3 defenses. There's nothing wrong with that. Thoughts on having 2 as DSTs? I have the Pats and Falcons drop 1 and stash the Chargers for next week. Bro, I don't know. I remember the Pats got a couple good games. I think they might have Tennessee coming up soon too. I would tell you, go look at their game log and see who got the best matchups for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you can drop one of the other teams. I mean, you could drop that team if they playing against like the Baltimore Ravens or a really good offensive team. You can drop them, but you're gonna have to look at them for the next 3 weeks. I don't know who they playing. Kale Berry says, who do you got tonight? I'll probably go with the Chargers. I'm probably going with the Chargers. Over Jefferson receptions, thinks he is going off. I don't know if he's going off. But it's Justin Jefferson. He could go for 200 yards any game. But I'm definitely playing him. Thank you, Darius, for the -3. Okay, 3.5. Thank you, Junk Buster. Jay Moore said, would you drop Otten for Benson? Yes, coming up. I don't know if I'm doing it right now. If I don't need Otten this week, hell yeah, I'll drop him for Benson. Because when Benson comes back, he's going to start over Bam and Michael Carter. Would he get 80% of the touches? No, but I think he's going to get at least 65 to 70% of the touches. F.W. Mitchell says, what do you think about Genty and Bowers? I am thinking about selling them on the low. No. If you got space, if you don't, man, and it's going to mess up your team, you're not going to make it to the championship, yeah, you drop them. But, bro, if you good, you 500, you still doing well, hold on to him, bro, because Bowers, they need a guy like Bowers. Now, this is a team where, okay, look, we losing, but let's make sure that our rookies are developing. So Genty's going to be getting more catching more passes, and Bowers going to be coming back eventually. And I don't want you to leave that upside. Those are top 12 upside players. They could be the number 1 at their position any week. So I just don't want to tell you just to drop that. Jay Moore said, you like Leggett over Jennings this week? No, I don't like him over Jennings. Soul Guy says, Franklin, Shaheed, Burton, Bill, pick 2, please. I'm going with Bill and Shaheed. But if DJ Moore misses, I'm going with Burton over Shaheed. Kyle Berry says, Vikings or Rams or Chargers. The Rams, are they even playing this week? The Rams are not playing this week. So I don't know what you mean by the teams. Let me know what you mean, Kyle, because the Rams are not playing. Yeah, the Rams is not playing. Jassy says, what do you think about starting Vidal over Ja'Cory Cross-Scheme? Yes, I talked about that. SH33 says, yeah, I'm using Leggett this week to help cover by. Plus, I'm going up against the #1 point getter game this season. Great job. I don't think you're going to regret that. Do you believe that Kevin Gates started the car battery with his bare hands? I don't know. B Silver says, Shaheed, Gaddison, or Otten to start over Kamara or Dalton in Superflex? No, I'm starting Kamara, but over Dalton. I don't know. I guess Dalton as a quarterback. If it ain't tight end premium, I just start Dalton and Kamara and go down with that ship. Now, if it's tight end premium, I would play Otten or Gaddison. Probably Otten over Gaddison. But if it ain't tight end premium, just go down with Kamara and Dalton. Carmen 505 says, I traded away Rice, QJ Dowdle for Puka and Worthy. What do you think, bro? I think you killed it. You got Puka. Sometimes you got to consolidate. Rice, QJ. Rice is the only player that I think is really that you could maybe even think about what he could have done. QJ is going to be fine. He's going to have his boom bust games. Dowdle is fighting for carries. But Puka is Puka. And when he's playing and he's healthy, he's getting 12 targets a game. Worthy is a deep threat, can boom for you any week. Sergio says, Mariota is garbage. Yeah, but you got to, hey, sometimes you got to go in the trash can. Bro, have you ever been through anything in life? You ain't never had to pick a nut on the side of the road. You ain't never had to ask somebody to borrow money to go feed yourself. Like, sometimes, bro, you got to play garbage. Sometimes you got to go down with garbage. Double says, Addison, Rice, Lamb, Ibuka, sit one. Addison. What's up, Jay Freezy? Queen Ann says, based off what we know now, who is the first overall pick next year? And love the channel. Thank you, Queen Ann's. Probably gonna be Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson again. No Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase probably be 2 or 3. I do think that maybe a quarterback might be in the first round. We might see a quarterback in the first round. But I would say Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs. Sergio says, I don't never get lucky. Hey, you're going to get lucky sometimes, bro. Just keep fighting. Keep hammering at that. You will get lucky. Jay Freezer says, Lamar Jackson or Rodgers. I'm going with Lamar Jackson. That's easy. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Do you believe... okay, we already did them. How do you feel about Genty? Keep or trade him? Keep him. If you can, keep him. Rome says, PPR, Kamara, Dowdle, Marks, pick 2. I'm going with Kamara and Marks. Super Shiesty says, trying to figure out my flex spot. My running backs are Henry, Swift. Wide receivers are Pick and Set. My flex, I'm looking at Dowdle or Addison. I also think Daniels will play. Jaden Daniels? I don't think Jaden Daniels is playing. Got Flacco in right now till news. Yes, Flacco is the guy. Trying to figure out my flex spot. Okay, your flex spot is going to be my flex. I'm looking at Dowdle. I'm going with Addison over Dowdle. Jay Lee says, I traded Chase Brown and Vidal for Doomsday. I think that was solid. I'm going to get at a B. SH33 says, if Debo plays, that might help Ja'Cory Cross-Scheme. That's true. KO says, Vidal or Jordan Mason is my RB2. I'm going with Vidal over Jordan Mason. Mike Shamhart says, G, you like Javonte Williams versus Denver defense? I'm playing Kobe. Yes, I do like them because they gotta step back and worry about CD Lamb, Kevontae Turpin, and George Pickens. So that's why Javonte Williams has been eating because of the setup. That's why I always tell y'all about safeties. A lot of you be like, what are you talking about? Safety backup, and they come closer because it matters how you run the game and what throws that you make. That's why CD Lamb and George Pickens is helping Javonte Williams. KL says, Chase Brown or Vidal for Rome or Dunze, a player in a Chicago offense. I don't know about that one. I get it, though. I get it. Because Chase Brown hasn't been playing good all year. Now, you think he traded Chase Brown this week, that it will be a bad trade. But if you traded Chase Brown a couple of weeks ago because you wanted to get off of that and you wanted to move forward with your team, I get it. It was a consolidation. B. Silver says, off topic, what's your thoughts on the NBA betting scandals arrest? Okay, real quick. Guys, it's happening. And listen, I hope this channel doesn't get flagged for some of the things I'm about to say, because I'm not going to cuss or anything, but I'm going to say some truths. If you don't think they are poisoning the water that you're drinking in, if you stay in bad neighborhoods, you are badly mistaken. If you don't think, if you don't think that they are giving your kids shots that's giving them autism, you are badly mistaken. It's a lot of stuff out here that's going on but we so busy working and trying to make money, nobody's thinking about it. But you see all these other people who has compartmentalized and took the red pill and went down the hole and came out on the other side and got unplugged from the matrix, and they are talking about these things. They're talking about aliens. They're talking about what is the government doing. The American government is trying to take over, is trying to take over the world, and they lying to us, and they actually using weapons of mass destruction as an excuse to take over another country. It's a lot of stuff going on out here. So I see that. I'm not surprised, but guess what? They're not going to ruin my life and take football away from me. Do I think football is people are cheating and doing all that? Yeah, but I still love it because I choose to love it. I choose to have love in this life. I need football. That's what I love. I've been watching the game a long time. But yeah, of course it's going on. And yes, those guys probably gonna never be able to come on TV and talk about sports. They're gonna have to go to a YouTube channel. And guess what? We're gonna tune in to that. I want to see Chauncey Billups talk about, once he get out of this, I want to see what he's gonna say about what's going on. All right? I can't wait to see that. Renato says, I need a streamer, wide receiver Josh Downs, Reynolds, Troy, Calvin, or Noel. I'm going to go with Troy Franklin, slightly over Noel. FW says, Golden, Butte, Leggett, Slayton. I'm going to go with slightly Leggett over Golden. Butte got a lot of upside. He can play, but he's not getting the targets that Golden and Leggett is getting. So I'm going to go with Leggett. I'm going to get cute with Aaron Jones. I say Aaron Jones. I'm going to get cute with Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton is going to target Leggett as a professional. He's a little bit bigger than damn, I can't think of him right now. The quarterback. He's taller. Bryce Young. So I think that's going to help Leggett get the targets that he's probably not been getting, and getting him in the spots that he needs to get the ball for him to be successful. And I think Andy Dalton can do it. I saw him how to use Adam Thielen last year. I saw how he used Deontay Johnson. So I'm going to go with Leggett slightly over Golden and Butte. Double says Vidal or Dowdle this week. I'm going with Vidal. Jay Moore said I need a big boom from the wide receiver position. I have now Ibuka with Moore on a bye. I need a big boom from the wide receiver position. I have now Ibuka with Marv on a bye. Yeah, you can get Ibuka going to boom, bro. He's the only wide receiver there. Matt Galloway says, great live, bruh. You went Ultra Instinct on him. Super respect to you, bruh. Right. I don't know if I should have said it. Paola says, should I start Mason Taylor or pick up Jonnu Smith from waivers? Start Mason Taylor. Taylor finally got receptions with Tyrod as the quarterback. Facts. That's why I like Mason Taylor with Tyrod. DJ says, boobies make me happy. That's one of my favorite movies. Carmen says, what do you feel about Rachaad White? Should I try to move him before Sunday or keep him as a premium handcuff? I think you should try to move him and get you something premium, or get you something real nice, like a premium whatever player. But if you have to use him and then he's just gonna be a handcuff, that's fine. Because you don't never know how long it takes Bucky to really get going. Super Saxy says, thank you, man. Love your takes and coming in here. You got the vibes. Big love. Thank you. Would you start Gaddison in the flex over Downs coming off a concussion? Yes, I would start Gaddison over Downs. Intelligence says, hope you got your ball back from yesterday. I did. J. Lee Bucket says, I subscribe to you, dog. Face killer. Yes, sir. LeBron might go down. I don't think so. They listen, they're going to protect LeBron. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that now. If this happened to LeBron, I would be shocked. Double Jet says, TD, you a real one. You didn't know? Ask my friends. Everybody don't like me. Everybody will tell you, TD, if you say something wrong to him, he'll take it out of the context. Look, you can say a lot of shit about me, but ain't nobody going to say he'll lie to you. He would steal from you, right? Ain't nobody gonna say that. And that's why I love myself. That's why I'm so passionate. Once I start lying and doing everything that everybody else is doing, I'm gonna calm down and just, hey, I'm just in the life. Who I'm gonna cheat today to try to make money? No, I'm not. I'm real. I'm real. I'm not listen, I ain't the biggest guy. Somebody can beat me up, but I don't play no games. So if this is what you want, you're gonna get in real authenticity. That's the only thing I can offer anybody before I die. Right before I transition. So appreciate it, man. All I'm saying, I say all of that to say I appreciate you, man. Michael King says, I like Leggett. He's country like me. Me too. He eating squirrel. Guys, let me tell you something about squirrel and rabbit. I'm going to tell you something. Guys, I hadn't played no basketball or did any like real true athletic stuff in probably like 5-6 years. And my cousins, one day, they was like, hey, TD, you want to come out here? We need somebody to play. We playing 3-on-3. We need another person. I know you might get tired after a couple games, but we just need you to come out there, man. I said, all right, let me eat. I haven't ate. So my father had caught a rabbit in the rabbit hollow. I'll tell y'all later what a rabbit hollow is. You can put stuff in the rabbit, like carrots, and a rabbit will go in there, and the box will come down, and then you have to kind of like kill the rabbit before you actually start cleaning it. You don't want to, torture the rabbit. So boom, my dad done cooked it. I'm eating the rabbit. It's good. I'm eating pieces. Guys, I come out there. I play like 5 straight games. I'm not getting tired. I'm jumping rebound. And I'm like, that's that real authentic, like, eating wild food. That shit is good for you. That shit, they eating greens and shit like that. I'm not going to the grocery store getting them fake chickens. I was a monster. And I'm talking about libido. Woo! So I just want to put y'all on game. Go get you some deer meat and see how your body feel. See if you don't feel explosive, you don't feel like you can do something extra. I'm giving y'all the gas. Fred says Woody, Cal Managa, Calvin Austin, Bashad Smith, or Butte. I'm going with Woody over Cal Managa. I'm going with Woody over Cal Managa. But listen, Bashad Smith got a little bit of traction. He's okay. I don't think you can start over Woody. Butte is really interesting. It's hard to play him. It's too volatile. Drake May is the main guy on this team. Anybody else you can't really rely on. Cal Managa got a nice little role, but Woody is the guy that I can see getting consistent touches. So I'm going to go with Woody. All right, guys, I got to get out of here soon because I got to go live at 6:30. FW says, would you keep Godwin or take Golden? I would probably take Golden. I don't, it's hard for me to trust Godwin. I think Godwin doesn't come back to maybe later. Holy Inspiration says, you think Chase Brown will be solid start line this week against the Jets? Yes, sir. Jay Freezy says, Debo or Keenan? I'm going with Keenan. Ramick says, Flex 1, Mason Taylor, DJ Moore, Ayamana, or Bourne. I'm going with Mason Taylor. SH23 says, bruh, you going to watch the versus battle between Cash Money and No Limit this Saturday? Probably not, but I want to find out. I'm going to watch the highlights of it. Ice Cold Jones says, Star, Hollywood, Brown, or Jennings? I'm going to go with Jennings. And King Sirius says, I like Addison tonight. He is tied for second on the team in red zone targets with Jefferson. Okay, and that's true. That's true. I like Addison. I just don't like him over. Like, it's kind of close with me between him and Vidal. So I might go with Vidal, but I know Jordan Addison is definitely a start. He could be a wide receiver 1 on some teams, even though he's a wide receiver 2 on his own team. He's been killing in the last 2 or 3 weeks. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Peace.